Indonesia is our largest trading partner in ASEAN. It has recently, last year, surpassed Singapore. We have seen an upsurge in trade and economic relationships. We are going into 75th year of our friendship anniversary with Indonesia. Indonesia is really looking towards India for, overhauling its health system. 30% of Bhasa Indonesia is Sanskrit.
Hi, this is John from Press Insider, and we are joined today by Malvika Priyadarshini, the Economic and Commerce Secretary at the Indian Embassy in Jakarta.
Since 2018, our relations were upgraded to a comprehensive strategic partnership when Prime Minister Modi visited Indonesia and President Jokowi also has a very forward-looking economic policy amongst all the leaders that have been in Indonesia. So the two leaders have a very forward-looking economic integration policy, due to which we have seen an upsurge in trade and economic relationships and investments and everything. So today, over the last 3 years, for example, our trade has risen almost 8 folds. So we now have from 4 billion to 39 billion trade, so bilateral trade. Indonesia is our largest trading partner in ASEAN. It has recently, last year, surpassed Singapore. Indonesia is the bigger exporter amongst in the bilateral business. We export about 10 billion to them, and they export the rest of 29 billion to us. So there's a trade deficit definitely in favor of Indonesia, and mostly it is commodity driven because of palm oil and coal imports from India, from Indonesia. So I would say that we set a target of reaching 50 billion trade by 2025, and I'm sure we'll be touching that target soon. India and Indonesia are the future markets that everybody is looking at. Yeah, I can tell you personally that I have so much upsurge of interest from Indian companies in Indonesia, and also better forward-looking policies of Indonesia towards India. Indonesia has woken up to the possibility of looking at India as also a market, and also a place where they can have technology and investment partnerships from. So in that sense, we are both awakened in a new world where there are geopolitical tensions, and post COVID, there's been a lot of talk of supply chain resilience, China plus one strategy. So those little narratives are now building, they're picking up. In the year 2024, they are going to inaugurate the capital city, and I have visited Nusantara last month, and I can tell you that the work is going on at a very fast pace, and they are committed to building the government buildings and national palace, the toll roads, the water reservoirs, the supporting infrastructure is the priority. They're going to host their national flag on the next Independence Day in Nusantara. They have recently passed a constitutional reform which ensures that there will be continuity in this policy, and no matter which president or which party comes to power, the project will go on. I would like to share the happy news that for the first time, an Indian hospital chain has is now working in clinical collaboration with an Indonesian private healthcare provider called Mayapada Hospital Group. It's a very big Indonesian group, and Apollo has been handpicked by the President Jokowi himself, and also the health minister is fully supporting the cause. So this capital is now going to have the first hospital by Mayapada and Apollo Group running in collaboration starting next July. So, and it is also the first hospital from India that will be running in collaboration with a local hospital in Indonesia. Ambassador of Indonesia to India, Ms. Hina Krishnamurthy, she led an investment delegation to Nusantara, and she took some investors from India like Adani, GMR, and some others. And they have shown in initial interest. However, it is too early, at this stage, because the project of the capital, which will cost about 30 billion US dollars at the end of it, which is the amount of pie that is available for foreign investors and domestic investors. They are looking for investment. They are inviting Indians to come and participate. However, like I said, the companies are waiting and watching. Of course, the elections do matter for any country, and for business as well. Health is the first one, for many good reasons. One being that we have recently understood that Indonesia is really looking towards India for overhauling its health system. So we are closely consulting on many issues, on digitalization, on policy framework. We have some MOUs in the health sector which are being discussed in setting up pharmaceutical companies here in Indonesia, and in hospital collaboration, training of doctors, and whatnot, medical tourism. So everything is sort of coming together. The other two sectors that I find that India has tremendous potential to work in Indonesia in is digitalization. We are also trying to find ways of how to bring digital infrastructure from India, integrate it with Indonesian systems, and trying to basically sell the idea of India stack here. And then there are very interested companies from India that are looking to manufacture here, and the policy environment presently supports it, because the present government of Indonesia has a focus of downstreaming. So in every sector, like for example palm, so they would like to sell value added goods. They would like to perhaps manufacture biodiesel, or products that are not crude palm. We also have our strengths where we can introduce our automation and our technologies of automobile production that can be brought into this ecosystem. And TVS is doing a good job. TVS is already about to start its electric two-wheeler production in February 2024. Starting December, actually this year, we are going into 75th year of our friendship anniversary with Indonesia, because we both started our diplomatic relations 75 years ago. We are going to have a formal year of India-Indonesia friendship. Starting somewhere in January, we will have lots of celebrations and events. We have discovered that there are almost 200 companies here in Indonesia. Some of them are really big global giants, like Lakshmi Mittal owns a steel plant here. There's Indorama, which is a Indian-owned Indonesian MNC. There are over 300 Indian professionals heading or in top positions in Indonesian or multinational companies based in Indonesia, or running their own startups here and doing very well. And then the top 4 media companies of Indonesia are owned by Indian diaspora people, the Sindhis. They control the entire, what serials, what soap operas, what movies, everything that goes into the people's imagination comes from these 4 Indian companies. So these are hidden gems of our relationship. Definitely a huge presence of India here is cultural, and it is also less acknowledged in the public, because, for example, Indonesian language. I'm just recently joined this mission, so I have discovered that 30% of Bhasa Indonesia is Sanskrit. They use Sanskrit words that we don't use. Their pavilions and malls and roads are called Bhima and Pandava and Arjuna, Shinta and Ram. It's very much part of local culture, but the connection with India is somehow lost. That is needs to be revived. That needs to be reconnected. The two big countries of the world like India and Indonesia did not have direct flights so far. So this very year we started 3 direct flights. Two of them Indians, Vistara and Indigo. Now Bali, Delhi and Jakarta, Mumbai, the two big cities, centers of India and Indonesia are directly connected. So I'm sure that this connectivity will lead to rediscovering each other. We are ancient partners, we are trade partners. So many differences to India in Indonesia that even Indonesians don't realize it. The historical political goodwill has not gone anywhere. It is the basic fundamental of our relationship, and Indians enjoy greater acceptance and goodwill than most other foreigners here.
Thank you very much, Malvika, for
My pleasure.
taking time to have this conversation with us. It was really nice having you.
Thank you.